What's going on, guys? It's Highlighted Miners here, and today we're going to talk about how to install Hive OS on an SSD. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so this is going to be the same process if you're re-imaging an SSD that's on a current rig that may be giving you some issues, or you're downloading Hive OS for the first time. If you guys are unfamiliar with Hive OS, we can definitely do a full video on that. There is a link in the description that is an affiliate link, and it does support the channel, so I'd appreciate y'all using that. So there are a few things that we are going to need. You are going to need some way to put an SSD into your computer. A cable like this works perfectly fine. As you can tell, this has the connector for the SSD on one side, USB on the other. For SSDs, you really don't have to go with anything too crazy. Looks like they're actually running a sale today on these Kingston 120 gigabytes. If you can find a 60 gigabyte, that would work as well. But this is just the one that I've used in the past. Okay, so once you got those, let's go ahead and go over to hiveos.farm, and again, you can use that affiliate link in the description. So all we're going to want to do is go over here to install. You're going to come down and find where it says GPU, and you're going to click on this zip file. Now this will take quite a while to download, so just go ahead and get that started. Now the next thing that we're going to need is this read about. If you go ahead and click on this, it talks about how Etcher is recommended tool to write Hive OS images on those drives. So let's go ahead and click on Etcher. Come over here, click on download for Windows. And once you guys have that, we'll see you back on the desktop. I have just put my SSD onto my computer, so it's going to load up here real quick. Next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and open up Etcher, which we just installed. We're going to be doing flash from file. You're going to go ahead and find where you put the Hive OS. We're going to select the target here. As you can see, my Samsung shows up here. It does show down here these 3 hidden drives. These are system drives. We don't want to mess with that, obviously. But we're going to go ahead and use that Samsung. It just says it's a large drive. This is just one I had lying around, which is why I'm using one that's so big. We're going to go ahead and select that, and we're going to click flash. It's just warning me again that there's a large drive, and say yes, I'm sure. So now we'll go ahead and wait for that to start flashing. While we're waiting for that, you're going to want to, if you haven't already, go ahead and sign in and create a Hive OS account. That will bring you to something that looks like this. You'll go ahead and add a farm in here. You can go ahead and click on that farm. I already have a rig, but let me show you if you're using this for the first time. You're going to go ahead and click this plus button. You're going to go add worker, and then add rigs, and then connect existing. Now this will go ahead and show you the rig and the password, but we're not going to need anything in here. We're just going to go right over to settings. One thing that I do recommend is that you guys change your rig. So let's say this is my mixed rig, meaning there's AMD and NVIDIA cards. And let's say I want to update this password to Highlighted Miners. We're going to want to go ahead and click update worker. Oh, looks like it's angry at me there. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. It was angry because it wasn't a strong enough password. And then once you have the password you want, just go ahead and click update password. Now the next thing that we're going to need to do, if you see up here in the top right corner, there's this rig config. Go ahead and click that, and you'll see that my download started here. So I'm going to show that in the folder. I'm then going to go ahead and cut that and paste it with where I put Hive OS. Okay, so I got my rig config in here, and I will see you guys when this finishes. Alright, so now it is complete. So you'll see where it says complete here. So we're going to go ahead and cancel out of that. Now what you're going to want to do now is actually disconnect your hub or your SSD adapter cable to USB from the computer. Wait a few seconds and go ahead and reconnect it. Alright, so mine came up, but I want to show you guys something. So here's the disk that I have now. You see that it has this letter. If it does not have this letter, what we're going to want to go do is go to create and format hard drive disks. Alright, so this may actually not have a letter. If this does not have a letter, it will not show up here in your file explorer. So let me sort of show you what that looks like here. So let me say I removed this. Now if I go back to here, you see it does not show up here. If that happens, just go into disk management, go ahead and right click, change letter, add a letter. Doesn't matter what letter it is, click OK. Then we'll refresh, and you will see it in here. Now what you're going to want to do is open that up, find where you saved your rig configurator. So mine is in here, and we're going to go ahead and copy and paste that into here. If it pops up and says you already have a rig.config in there, just go ahead and replace it. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and unplug it from your computer. Go ahead and plug it in your rig and start it up. So guys, it's really that easy to go ahead and install the rig config for Hive OS. I highly recommend that you use an SSD. Some people do use USB drives. I have read a lot from users that state because of the read and write speed of an SSD, the system just doesn't malfunction as much. So that's completely up to you guys though. Go ahead and choose whichever one you like, and we'll see you next time.